So right now, the gaming industry is in a strange phase where every big company thinks AI is the next big answer to everything. Every interview, every investor call, every studio presentation, it's the same pitch about how AI will reshape the future of game development. And EA is one of the loudest in that group, putting massive energy into generative systems and automatic tools like they're about to reinvent the wheel. But the truth is, behind all the buzzwords and excitement, this isn't some guaranteed success story. It's a gamble, and the early signs are already showing how risky it's going to get. EA is betting that the AI will make their workflow faster, cheaper, and more predictable. They're selling this dream of building entire environments in hours, designing characters in minutes, and testing mechanics without human hands. It sounds revolutionary until you look closer. Developers who actually use these systems are already warning that the tech isn't ready for what the execs are promising. If that trend keeps up, studios will end up in a cycle where every shortcut just creates another mess to fix. Because as soon as AI gets dropped into the creative process, it starts showing its limits. These models can only build from what already exists, meaning originality will slowly fade out. Instead of breaking new ground, the next generation of games will start blending together. Same tone, same design, same feel. The art style that once defined the studio's identity will get placed by whatever the algorithm decides looks efficient. That's repetition disguised as innovation. Over time, developers won't be spending less time working, they'll just be doing different work. Instead of creating from scratch, they'll spend their days cleaning up AI-generated assets, fixing broken code, and rewriting dialogue that doesn't make any sense, and polishing things that should have been built right from the start. The promise of saving time will end up costing more man hours, and the burnout rate will rise even faster than before. Studios might save money short term, but long term, they'll pay for it with the quality. And if that becomes a standard, you'll start to see how reflecting games. Worlds will look detailed but feel empty, characters will move right but talk wrong. The small touches that make a game feel alive won't be there anymore. It'll be a strange kind of perfection where everything works but nothing connects. That fun will still be there on paper, but the emotion will be gone. What's worse is that this whole shift is being sold as empowering creators, when in reality, it's setting them up to be sidelined. Once the AI system become reliable enough for executives to trust them, studios will start cutting teams to streamline development. Artists, writers, and testers will slowly be replaced by software, not because it's better, but because it's cheaper. And by the time fans realize what happened, it'll already be too late. When that moment comes, the backlash will hit hard. Players will start noticing when every new release feels like recycled. The excitement around big AAA games will fade because people will expect sameness instead of surprise. And the sad part is, companies will probably act confused when their numbers drop, even though they created the outcome themselves by chasing profit over passion. But some studios will try to fight back against that like whole AI wave, and those will be the ones that players actually remember. Smaller teams will double down on handcrafted art, emotional writing, and genuine creativity to separate themselves from corporate machine-made content. Those games won't have the biggest budgets, but they'll have something money came by, and that's sold. And once people start comparing these two side by side, the difference will be too obvious to ignore. And the industry will split into two directions. You got the top-heavy giants that chase automation, and you got the grounded teams that keep things human. And it won't take long for players to choose which side they want to support, because even if AI wins the side of volume, the other will win on heart. You can't fake authenticity forever. People will always notice when something is real. If EA keeps leading this push, they'll become test case for everyone else to watch. When their AI-driven projects start hitting the market, reviews will decide whether this approach can actually survive. If those titles come out flat or lifeless, it'll set the tone for the whole industry. The message will be clear: technology can't save you from bad priorities. Over time, fans will grow skeptical of anything labeled AI-powered. That phrase will stop being a brag and start sounding like a warning. People will associate it to laziness, shortcuts, and lack of care. The same way microtransactions became a dirty word, AI assisted might follow right behind it. And once their reputation sticks, even studios trying to use it responsibly will have to deal with the fallout. It's not hard to imagine what this will look like in a few years. Game trailers will start bragging about handmade worlds or crafted by artists like it's a rare feature. Players will go out their way to support projects that don't rely on automation. And the companies that went all in on AI will struggle to regain the trust, because by then, nobody would care how fast something was made. They'll care how it make it feel. And that's the irony in all this. The more these corporations try to remove humans from the process, the more valuable the human touch becomes. Authenticity will become the new luxury, and creativity will start to feel rebellious again. People will crave games that take risks and that make mistakes and actually feel alive. The future they're trying to build might push gaming forward one way, but it's going to send it back in another. And if we're being real, it's not that AI has no place in game development, it shouldn't be leading it. Used right, it can make life easier for developers, but not replace them. It can handle repetitive coding, testing, and asset cleanup while artists focus on ideas. But that balance only happens when people are still in the center of the process. The moment the tech becomes a star, the creativity dies. But eventually, this obsession with automation will force the industry to reset. Once enough big projects flop from lack of soul, studios will realize that speed and skill aren't worth it if nobody cares about the results. The developers who survived that wave will rebuild gaming from the ground up, focusing on storytelling and imagination again. Until then, the AI hype will keep rolling, investors will keep nodding, and devs will try to keep reminding everyone that games aren't just products, they're art. If people in charge forget that, the whole industry is going to learn the hard way that not everything can be optimized, some things just have to be felt. But let me know what you guys think about AI taking over the gaming industry and just the world in general. I personally don't agree with it. Like, it's cool in some areas, it's helpful in some areas, like I said, but leading stuff, like especially games, just for the artists and creatives and stuff like that, I feel like it's not good on them, because you can't beat human soul, you can't beat human thinking, and I think always be the forefront of all of this, because we're humans. But let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe. It's your boy Memories, and I'll catch your boys next time. Peace.